Welcome to Real Money Talks, how to make money, manage money, and invest money. Your Real Money Talks host, Laurel Langemeier, gets straight to the point about what it actually takes to make money and build lasting wealth in today's changing economic climate. If you're ready to get the financial results you've always dreamed of, keep listening. Real Money Talks is the right place for you. And now here's your host, Laurel Langemeier.
Hi, this is Laurel, and welcome back to Laurel's Real Money Talks podcast, where we're talking about quality conversations around money and investing. Specifically, how do you make it? How do you keep it? How do you invest it? Where do you invest it? And what team you should use. So today I have a teammate with me, a really good friend actually, Sean Roach, who is brilliant at creating you as an expert and posturing you to really take the lead in your brand, in your industry. So welcome.
Thank you very much.
And so tell all of our listeners a little bit about you.
So Sean Roach, and I do corporate strategy for some major corporations, Apple, Amazon, do stuff with Google, Caesars Entertainment, and then I also do stuff with entrepreneurs and small business owners. I'm a small business advocate and love when people own a business or even if it's a solopreneurship, if they're doing their own thing, because I know what that does for them and I know what it does for so many other people. Mm-hmm. The key thing is that you've got to position yourself as an expert in whatever you're doing, and that's where a lot of people struggle.
So speak more about that. Why? I mean, there's a lot of places and books written about it, but why do you think personally, and then you're actually a master at helping people do it?
Because it doesn't really matter what you're in. First of all, you got to define your niche or niche. And you've got to figure out, what am I really going to go after? I can't be everything to everyone. So I don't want to be an inch deep and a mile wide. I can't be like an Amazon or a Costco or Kmart or a Walmart. They're all an inch deep and a mile wide. So if I'm going to get into a business, I've got to be really, really specific. So if I'm going to be a landscaper, what specific type of landscaping am I going to specialize in? If I'm going to be a chiropractor, I may be able to adjust all sorts of different people and ages and whatnot, but where would I like to specifically get into and what particular niche would I like to go after? Because if I start doing that from a marketing perspective, I'm going to make more money. Because now I'm seen as the expert. Oh, you've got that. You need to go see this person. Oh, your landscaping is like this. Oh, you definitely have to hire this person. And it really starts to change the positioning and the game for you in what you want to do and how you want to do it.
And so I want to dig deeper into that question, which is how do you define your niche? Because I mean, you've been around our community a lot. I mean,
Yep.
I want to do real estate for everybody. I want to do,
So
investing for everybody. So give them some tips that are like, how do you do that niching?
So one of the things is that most people don't do their market research. They just think, oh, I know my market. I know the area that I'm going to be specifically going after. I'm going to do stuff. So, for example, we had a client that does travel guides. And her clientele that she was trying to work with, that she had worked well with as a travel agent, were all elderly people. Mm-hmm. Well, when we went and started doing research, elderly people weren't looking for that information online because they would just buy a tour package and everything came with the tour package. Oh, and if you look at backpackers or younger people, they will show up at wherever town and they just say, hey, I'm going to go to Cabo. And they'll do whatever's going on in Cabo at that particular moment. They won't do any planning or start looking at that. But interesting, when we started looking online and started doing research, we found that women, specifically if they were traveling by themselves, so they could be single or married, but if they were traveling by themselves, they were looking for information. And so when she started to cater to that niche, she started becoming an expert. Media wanted her on radio and television. They wanted her in newspaper. They wanted her to talk about stuff. And she's now become the advocate and the expert for women that travel all over and helping them. Maybe you're a businesswoman and you're traveling someplace. Maybe there's another businesswoman in that area that would like to have dinner with you. So you're not eating alone. You don't get picked up on. You're not dealing with that crap. But I mean, even as a guy traveling by myself, when you eat by yourself, sometimes it's that, you feel weird, I'm by myself. So I get it as a guy, and I saw why it was so powerful for women to be able to do that. But she was convinced that she knew her market. And when she started doing some market research, she realized, wow, I don't know the market of travel guides at all, this is an area I would have never looked at. I would have never jumped into trying to help women.
Okay, so dig in further. When you say market research, people go, oh my God, I don't know how to do that. So just give some simple tips. How do they go do market research from where they sit?
One of the best places to go for any market research, once you figure out what your niche is. So let's take another one. Let's say you're in health and fitness.
Yep.
Right? So, you're a trainer or you just happen to do stuff around health and fitness. Then I would go to magazines.com. And I would look at every single magazine that deals with health and fitness, and I would look at their covers. Because even in today's environment, the covers still do a lot. So if the magazine has decided, here's 50 healthy tips for great living, then that article, because they put that on the outside cover, that means that they've done the market research for me. That means they know that there are people that are looking for healthy eating tips for healthy living.
Okay.
And so now I can start looking at that and looking at those demographics to start going further down my niche. It's one of the, magazines spend millions of dollars on market research to figure out what needs to go on the cover of a magazine.
Brilliant.
And so just looking at magazines, anytime I go into a grocery store, a 7-Eleven, a gas station, if I'm checking out at a grocery store, I'm always looking at the magazines that are there. And I'm just looking at the covers to see what little headlines they're talking about, because whatever they're talking about, that's what's currently going on in the world that people are wanting to look about and know more information from.
So there's also, is it a myth or is it true to also look through just the TV? Like what's currently being trended? Like if you look at pawn shops, like getting pawn shops is up.
Correct.
Getting storage units, they're up. If there's another damn cooking show on a cupcake, I don't need to know anything about a cupcake again. Real estate, right? Yeah. I mean, isn't TV, even though I hate telling people to go look at TV, but looking at trends, is that another one? Or is that not true?
You're looking at TV shows. So you're not looking at TV, you're looking at TV shows.
Okay.
And there's also websites out there that talk about current reality TV shows or current shows that are casting.
Yep.
So you can go on there and you can see what's going to be coming out on TV. Not what's on right now, but what's going to be coming out.
As a way to see what's trending.
Yes. Now, wait a minute. They're already working on this. So they're working on this show now. Any show they're working on for right now isn't going to debut till the fall. So I'd rather know about that show now so I can be prepared with any marketing things or any target markets that I'm going to go after based on when that show comes out.
Okay. Any others?
I
love the magazine.
The magazine ones is probably, that is the one that I have done. And Amazon, I love Amazon. I'm a consultant for them also, and do strategy. But I love Amazon because I can go there and do market research right at Amazon. Because Amazon is the #1 platform for people to go to purchase a product or a service.
Over 50, what's this? This isn't the statistic, like 56% of online purchases are done through Amazon.
It's actually higher than that.
Spread out.
It's the one company. Amazon is the one company that scares Google, because more and more people aren't going to Google to search for a product or service. They're going to Amazon to search there because their credit card is already there. They know the return policy. They know Amazon's got their back. So I can just one click, my credit card's already there, one click, buy that product. And a lot of people don't realize you can market a service on Amazon. They have an entire service division. So Amazon is also a great way to position yourself as an expert in your niche, because Amazon's an authoritative website.
Yep.
So if I see your information on Amazon, even though in the industry and in our world, I know this isn't true, but I've got to look at the 97% of people that don't know this.
Yeah.
So if I'm average Joe out there and I'm looking for a chiropractor in my area, and I go and I search for it on Google and I see an Amazon listing and it's got, Sally Mae, the chiropractor.
Yep.
And I click on that. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I see that Sally Mae is a best-selling author about chiropractic care for pregnancy. Mm-hmm. And I'm pregnant. I'm a woman. I'm pregnant. And wow, all of a sudden now I'm in a bond with Sally Mae because, wow, Amazon said she knows her stuff. I didn't find Sally Mae's website that said that she specialized in this, or chronic leg pain, or any of those little areas. So if you're in a town and you're like, oh, I'm an insurance salesman, and man, there's tons of people in this town. I don't even know how to be able to compete. That's BS. You just haven't positioned yourself as an expert, and you've got to figure out, where am I making the most amount of money? Mm-hmm. Where are my best clients? And the next thing I always tell people is, who do I love working with?
Say more about that.
Well, all right. So if I'm a fitness coach, or I'm an attorney. Let's say I'm an attorney. So I'm a licensed attorney. I'm practicing law. I obviously could take any cases, but I know that a criminal case is a pain in the ass, but a DUI 9 out of 10 of them is paperwork. So I can charge $3,000 to $5,000. I file the paperwork, and it doesn't ever have to go to trial. And if I don't want to take it to trial, I got attorneys I can refer it to. They love those cases. So if it's a case that's going to go to trial, I refer it to another attorney, and I just make my money off of those. I make good money. I'm dealing with people. They had a little problem. I'm taking care of them. Then why aren't you
There's
focusing?
dozens and dozens a day.
Yes, and why aren't you focusing on that particular market and that particular niche? Yeah. Why aren't you going after that? If I was an attorney, I mean, I laugh, you and I both being to Australia as many times as we've been, when I used to find it interesting when I go to Australia and I would turn on television, I would see advertisement for supplemental insurance, for health insurance. And I thought, wow, that's kind of interesting. We're starting to see it here. Well, they have socialized medicine there. And so, if you really want to be taken care of, you're going to buy this extra insurance so you can go see a specialty doctor and get in right away and not have to wait. And I knew that the day eventually would come in Australia where we would start seeing what we call in America ambulance chaser ads for, have you been hurt in an accident? Have you been this? Because we have those all over. You turn on any station in the United States, there's accident attorney or a class action lawsuit attorney or something that's from there. And so if I was an attorney and that was already starting to happen, or I lived in an area like Las Vegas or up here in Tahoe, and I saw accident attorney all over, why would I want to try to compete with them? Right. I'm going to find a specialized area within accident or within DUI or something like that, and then start marketing myself from there. And again, one of the best ways is, is to do a little book. Mm-hmm. So, an attorney could do a book on the 7 things you must know if you're ever pulled over for DUI. Mm-hmm. So now all of a sudden I happen to get a DUI or a friend got a DUI. I'm on Google. I'm searching for him. I see this attorney's name, but I see it tied to Amazon. I click and I see, oh my God, the guy's a best-selling author around this topic. That's who I want to hire. That's obviously the expert. And Amazon said he was the expert, not his own website or his own commercial or his own ad in the yellow pages or anything else. Because believe it or not, people still buy ads in yellow pages. So
They do. All right. So do your market research. For those of you that have been listening, we're listening to Sean Roach talking about how to posture yourself as an expert. So do your market research, get a book, which is easier. I mean, my advice to everybody, just talk your book.
Yeah, all you do is record, 10,000 words, which is really not a lot. In 10,000 words, with the right layout, so the right font and the right layout of the book, you can get 10,000 words to about 120, 125, 130 pages. So a 130-page book, if I have that printed, so I've got a digital version, but I got a print version, now I've got a really nice business card. Yep. I got something to be able to give out to people that says, hey, I'm an expert, and this is why. So, and, with a lot of the stuff that we teach within our program and working with you and my program with Expert Catapult, we show people how to do that one step further. So it's that book piece, but then it's getting that book as a bestseller and then kind of rebranding yourself around that particular area.
And when you say bestseller, because, I've got New York Times publishers with all sorts. So we're talking Amazon for the most part.
Yeah, but then you don't necessarily broadcast that you're just an Amazon bestseller. Because again, the general public doesn't know that. So I'm a best-selling DUI author. Okay. I'm a best-selling author on DUIs. I'm a best-selling desert landscaping author. Okay. I'm a best-selling prenatal chiropractic care author. So now defining that niche within bestseller, you're now also saying, look, I'm an expert in this particular area. And so, if you can talk and record and get someone to put that into a book and it's 10,000 words, let's go a little even bigger, maybe 15,000 words, you could easily have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books on Amazon. And now if someone came and looked at you and said, wow, this chiropractor does this and this and this and this and this, wow, and is a best-selling author, or she's a best-selling author in all these subjects, again, Amazon is telling that public person that you know what you're talking about. You're not having to say it anymore.
I love it. What else? Market research, books, become a bestseller.
Yep.
What else?
You need a website. The other thing I tell people is, start recording videos, or do an audio like this podcast. But you can easily take your smartphone. Everybody now has a smartphone, and you can record 15 seconds to 5 minutes on video. Mm-hmm. Give a tip. Give one little tip about. There are so many things that in whatever you're doing for a living. There is stuff that that you are unconsciously competent about. Yeah. You just do it as if you were breathing. And so you forget that there are people that are unconsciously incompetent. They don't even know that they don't know that they don't know. And so something that you would be like, oh, that's stupid, may be the brilliant moment for someone else to go, wow, I didn't even think about that. So let's go back to a landscaping thing. I have a client that does stuff around desert landscaping. And one of his biggest challenges when we first started working together was people getting AstroTurf, fake grass, right? Because they wanted that grass look. Well, sounds good. Hey, I'm not going to be watering as much. I got this fake grass. The problem is it can raise the temperature around your home between 5 and 15 degrees.
I didn't even know that.
So if you live in the desert or you live somewhere, it holds the heat in and it radiates the heat back out.
Little tangent, but I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, so now, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, I'm doing this wonderful thing. I'm doing this great thing for the environment. Well, no, petroleum is used to make the fake grass. It's made out of plastic. They use, so you're really not doing all of those things. And if you're trying to you may cut your water down, but now all of a sudden your electricity may go up because you've got air conditioning or your house is much hotter around the outside and it may cause problems. So his thing of now positioning all of that and getting people to understand that they're better off doing a desert landscaping and having some other plants that retain water, that don't use as much water and that completely started changing. And now he's not fighting that anymore. When someone goes, oh, I'm going to put in AstroTurf, he's like, oh, good luck. It'll raise the temperature around your house from 5 to 15 degrees.
Good luck with your AC.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah, there's tons of studies. And we found studies online. We found documentation. We found everything you needed to be able to back that stuff up. So, I mean, it's really stuff that you probably know that you have forgotten about that may be one little tip. Get a video out and look, when you do a video.
Okay, so finish when you do a video and then where do you post?
Right. Okay. So when you do a video, it doesn't have to be fancy. As a matter of fact, some of the best videos I see from people just shoot video wherever.
Yep.
Right. So, I do them out in nature. I'll do them up on the ski resort. I'll do, wherever I'll shoot a video. I'm not worried about other things happening because I'm not trying to impress you with what everything looks like. I'm trying to impress you and make sure that you understand my knowledge to be able to have those components. So you can absolutely do video anywhere. What was the next part of the question?
Where do you post them? So you do videos and then
you do videos. So there are a lot of video posting services out there that you can do.
Yep.
And if you go to a video post, just Google video posting service.
Yep.
And there's about 5 or 6 different companies out there. And then what you do is you set up an account with them, and then they will put your video on. There's like 20 or 30 different places where video can go up, and they will automatically put it up for you. So you don't have to go to YouTube and Facebook and Vimeo and Viddler and all these other places to post your video. You just can go to the one broadcast site, and it'll push your video out for you.
Perfect. And if people want to hear more from you, how do they reach you?
They can go to SeanRoach.com.
Okay.
I do a thing called Roach Rants, where I just kind of pick a topic and rant about it. So we've got videos and we've got also written stuff. You can find me on Facebook also. And those are 2 ways. Yeah.
I want to rant with you one day.
We'll rant. We'll do a rant. Roach Rants, man. I just pick a topic and go off. So that's right. Roach Rant.
I love it. So just to summarize, part of the marketing research, number 1 is go to magazine.com, get a book, shoot some videos.
Get stuff up on Amazon. Let Amazon be your advocate for saying that you're an expert and you know what you're talking about.
Love it. So take it, all that advice again, whenever you have questions, or if you want to rant with Sean and I more, go to askloral.com and give us your name, phone number, and email. And again, we are putting smaller but very intimate webinars around the guests that I'm bringing. And it's up to you. You guys vote with your little fingers and you go to askloral.com and say, I want to hear more. And we put it together. We've even really started doing some tours. I mean, I did a podcast with Fred, and that's what's brought us to Scottsdale to go look at all the companies. So the more you let us know what you want, we will deliver it to you. So Sean, thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
And you're at Loral's Real Money Podcast, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Thank you for joining Loral for this segment of Real Money Talks, how to make money, manage money, and invest money. To continue this new conversation and to find free resources to support your wealth creation, visit askloral.com/podcast gifts. That's askloral.com/podcast gifts. Thanks for listening and join us again soon. New episodes are released every week.